Well, hello everyone and welcome to another Call of Duty Vanguard video. In this one, I want to take the time and showcase and discuss the absolute best class setup for the bar assault rifle here in Vanguard multiplayer. Now, I must admit, guys, it's been quite a little while since the last time that I made a multiplayer best class setup video, as recently I've been kind of focusing on Warzone and Warzone Pacific. However, I wanted to tone it back a little bit and actually do a class setup for Vanguard multiplayer. And of course, in this one, I am going to be checking out the bar assault rifle, which I must admit, the bar assault rifle as well as the Cooper carbine are quite frankly the best two assault rifles to use in the current state of Vanguard multiplayer, and in many attributes they're kind of opposites. However, they're also very similar. For example, the Cooper carbine is an assault rifle that has an extremely fast fire rate, moderate damage, as well as very low recoil. Meanwhile, the bar has an extremely low fire rate but very high damage, as well as very low recoil. So when it comes to using the two assault rifles, you really have to pick your poison, as do you prefer using an assault rifle that has a faster fire rate or a slower fire rate? It really just depends on you. And personally, I like using the bar because of its slower fire rate, meaning that you have to be more accurate with shots, which is something that I personally like. And that's how come I want to showcase a really solid class setup for it in today's video. Now, before we get too far into it, I do want to know about the gameplay. It is of course a gameplay of me playing domination here on shipment, and if I'm not mistaken, I drop between 140 and 150 kills. It's a really entertaining and fast-paced gameplay. I go on some really nice streaks, as well as about halfway through the game, my team was down and we ended up mounting a really nice comeback. So I hope you guys go on to enjoy that gameplay, and overall I hope you guys go on to enjoy today's video. And if you do not forget to leave a like on this one, as well as subscribe and turn on post notifications, so that way you guys will not miss any of the latest and greatest Call of Duty news, class ups, intel, and so much more. So without further ado, now that I got the intro out of the way, let's dive right into it. And alright, so typically in my Vanguard class setup videos, right at the start, I like to talk about the weapon, its attributes, and all of that. However, the bar is pretty self-explanatory. It's one of the most iconic weapons in Call of Duty history, and it's the quintessential low fire rate, extremely high damage, very low recoil assault rifle, overall making it very satisfying to use in Vanguard. So with that said, let's actually dive right into the class setup, which is on your screen right now. Let's actually break it down a little bit. So first and foremost, I'm actually going to be using the Victory Cannon free rare blueprint, which in my opinion is a really cool blueprint in this game, and it's extremely useful because the base class setup that comes with this particular blueprint is very good. So if you're leveling up the bar and you have the blueprint, make sure you go ahead and use it because you get some really good attachments. And with that in mind, moving on down for my secondary weapon, I will be using the M1911 pistol. With that in mind, talking about my perk setup, I will be using Fortified Radar as well as Double Time. The simple reason why I'm using Fortified is because of course I am going to be playing on shipment, and there are all kinds of grenade spam and you have to really deal with explosives on shipment, so that's why it's a good idea to use Fortified. However, if you want to swap out Fortified for Ghost, feel free to go ahead and do so. Moving on down for my lethal, I will be using the MK2 frag grenade, as well as my tactical is going to be the stim shot. Overall, pretty standard stuff. So with that being said, let's actually break down these attachments. Now, of course, at first I am just going to be stating the attachments, then I am going to be going into a little bit more detail. So naturally, my attachments are the Mercury silencer, the CGC 30-inch XL, the Slate reflector, the Chariot WR, the M1930 Strife angled grip, the .50 BMG 30 round magazine, the lengthened ammo type, the fabric grip, sleight of hand, as well as fully loaded. So let's actually break this down a little bit. Now, of course, the Mercury silencer is going to be increasing the sound suppression as well as the recoil control, which is extremely useful. The only downside is it will be reducing the damage range. However, let it be known that the damage range on the bar is extremely good, so this particular attachment isn't really going to be hurting it that much. And considering that you get sound suppression as well as recoil control when using this attachment, it's overall a no-brainer as to why you'll want to use it. With that in mind, for my next attachment, I will be using the CGC 30-inch XL, which will be increasing the recoil control and accuracy, as well as reducing the scope sway and gun bob, as well as increasing your flinch resistance, which is very useful. Now, this is actually the longest barrel on the bar at 30 inches, and I will admit I have tried other barrel attachments on this weapon, and they are pretty good. However, the problem is, because of the slow fire rate, the weapon really starts to bob when you have prolonged fire when you're using some of the other barrels. However, since as this particular barrel states, it reduces the scope sway as well as gun bob, and also increases the recoil control and accuracy, it really makes this weapon an absolute laser beam. And as you guys are going to be seeing throughout the gameplay, this gun does not move when I'm shooting it, which is absolutely incredible. And with that in mind, of course, moving over to our optic, I will be using the Slate reflector, which is pretty standard here in Vanguard. The Slate reflector is overall the cleanest red dot sight style attachment here in Vanguard, and that's just my own opinion. However, However, if you guys would like to, you can also put on the G16 2.5 times scope, so that way you'll be getting a little bit more zoom. However, it really just depends on your own playstyle and exactly what kind of maps you are going to be playing. With that in mind, of course, for my next attachment, I will be using the Chariot WR stock, which will be increasing the aiming stability, recoil control accuracy, as well as flinch resistance. And the only negative downside is I will be kind of slowing down this weapon a little bit. However, the increase in the aiming stability, recoil accuracy, and all of that certainly makes up for some of the negative downsides that we would experience while using this attachment. With that in mind, for my next attachment, I will be using the M1930 Strife Angled Grip, which will be simply increasing the accuracy, aiming stability, as well as aim walking steadiness. With that in mind, of course, for my magazine, I will be using the .50 BMG 30 round magazine. Now, the bar already fires an extremely large round. However, if you put on the .50 BMG, it's going to be firing an even larger caliber round, simply increasing the bullet velocity and range, the damage, the bullet penetration, as well as, since this is actually a 30 round magazine, it will be increasing the magazine ammo capacity. And yeah, this is honestly a beast of an attachment. And of course, as you guys are going to be seeing in the gameplay, this particular attachment significantly reduces the fire rate of the bar. However, the absolute power that you are going to be getting from the increased damage and bullet velocity more than makes up for any negative downside. And of course, my ammo type, I will be using lengthened, which is simply going to be increasing the bullet velocity. Of course, for my next attachment, I will be using the fabric grip, which will be increasing the aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed, as well as hip fire recoil recovery. Now, of course, a lot of these attachments make this weapon an absolute laser beam, but it also makes this weapon a little bit slow. And of course, in my own playstyle, I like to run around while using the bar and other assault rifles in this game, so you kind of have to counterbalance it. You can use the attachments that increases the damage and the accuracy and so forth, but you also need to use some attachments like the fabric grip that increases the aim down sight speed, so that way it's not just a bazooka of a weapon that you can barely even aim down sight with. And with that in mind, of course, for my next attachment, which is actually going to be my proficiency, I will be using sleight of hand, just so that way I can reload a lot quicker. And of course, my kit, I will be using fully loaded, so that way I have all the ammunition that I need. So yeah, guys, with that said, that's going to effectively wrap up the class up portion of today's video, and that's also going to conclude the commentary portion of this video. I hope you guys went on to enjoy it, and if you did, do not forget to leave a like on this one, as well as subscribe and turn on post notifications, so that way you guys will not miss any of the latest and greatest Call of Duty news, class ups, intel, and so much more. Also, as I mentioned a little bit earlier in this video, I have a really good gameplay that I hope you guys go on to enjoy. So after end off this commentary, I'm just going to be showing that raw gameplay, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So thank you once again for watching. I'm your host, Deeper Jungle. I hope to see you in the next one. Also, Merry Christmas.
Taking Charlie. Securing Charlie. Thermite. Go get him, girl. Attack dog pulled in on the way. Taking all objectives. Hold those positions. Losing objective Baker. They're taking Baker. It's time. Double kill. Double kill. Four down. Friendly bombing run on the way. Recon mission ready. Find the bug. Double kill. Lost our dog. The lead down. Can't hit them all. Losing objective Able. Able is lost. Mark those targets for me, will ya? Recon along. Losing objective Baker. Hostile recon in the air. Five shot. They're taking Baker. reach. Take it down. Taking Charlie. We're in the lead. Light bomber assist coming in.